I believe that Women's History Month is an important month. This is where that you can think about all the things that women have done in the history of the United States, internationally, and where we're going now. Women are very strong influencers.
It is a time to celebrate women and honor all the things that we have done to help move this country forward. Particularly, I think acknowledging that we are more than what history dictates we are.
For me, when I think about women's history, I think about really where I came from and how I grew up. I came from a really strong group of women, and they all have passed at this point, but they all really instilled in me great value and really the importance of making a difference in this world in a meaningful, tangible way.
I would say for me, it's resiliency. I think about that from a standpoint of looking at the women who are in my profession, but also looking at women in different places and all they've had to endure and what they're doing now. Even just think about just from history standpoint, they are resilient women. And so I think about this is a month for us to celebrate one another, thinking about what we have already accomplished and all that we are going to accomplish in the future.
I think the person that resonates with me the most in my role, because I'm trying to, be as inclusive as possible for anyone that I come across, if they feel like they need an opportunity in my company, is Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm. Yeah, I feel like the quote she said, if they don't give you a seat, bring a folding chair. That resonates with me so much because I had a leader. She gave me that quote in a PowerPoint slide and told me to take it and do with it what I want. And I didn't know what it meant at the time, but now I know, because more and more diverse people need to be included in these conversations at these tables that we're not a part of. And I feel like that's what our ELT team is doing, bringing more and more diverse people into the leadership team, because we need those ideas, we need those opinions. So regardless if someone tells you you can't come and sit at the table, that's fine. Wait outside with your folding chair, because they're gonna call you in there and ask you to come in and voice your opinion. So I always lead with that, and I feel like ever since then I've just been doing more and more of that. Okay, I'll wait. It'll be my time.
The sky is the limit. Don't be afraid. We are all unique individuals, and be proud of your uniqueness, right? And so use that to your advantage in whatever it is that you want to do. And if there's something you want to do and you don't see anyone that looks like you doing it, it's okay to be the first.
You are the first Black female district court judge for Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson County.
I am. To God be all the glory. All those things, yes.
The athletic director at Duke, which is Nina King, she is the first Black or woman of color athletic director at Duke, and there's only 3 in the Power 5 or Power 4 conferences, we call it. But just to see the obstacles and things that she was able to overcome to get to where she is, it's eye-opening just to see that within our industry.
Durham County, we have the first African-American county attorney. That is something that to be celebrated.
I do think because of just being a woman, we try to make sure that we are extremely educated, right? We're trying to do all those things right. I think about myself, I have a law degree, so I do feel like I'm qualified to be in this space, but I do work in a predominantly male industry. And so I have to also think about those things, but understanding that I have the skill set to do the job, it makes me say, you know what? And then when I am able to see others in my profession, especially women, doing it, it's like, okay, yes, I can do that too.
So when we are asked to provide our feedback to our CEO on what we want to see more of, we always say on my team, even if the males on my team, we always want to say we want to see more women in your leadership team. What can we do to push you to bring in more women in your leadership team? And with that focus, he has actually brought in at least 2 females in the last 2 years to his leadership team. They are women of color.
There are others that sort of look like me. So the industry itself, I would say, has quite a great deal of women, but not that many women of color. So I am a unicorn in some respects, at least in the leadership capacity.
Anyone who knows anything about law, courtroom, old school court shows, women just were not prevalent. I think what we're seeing now is the rise of the woman in the legal field, and it is exciting.
Well, I've been practicing law for some time. One of the challenges would be someone who's coming into the law firm, because I didn't start with Durham County, would assume just I'm a paralegal or an assistant just because youthfulness or just because I'm a woman. And you would always have to say your title and who you are as you enter the courtroom or are you at the conference room. So I believe that that is a challenge. Not so much now because there are a lot of women, and especially in my area, where are lawyers, judges, but that is a challenge that you have to remind everyone that, yes, you are an attorney.
When they say know your worth and add tax, don't let anyone treat you less than because you are a woman or because you are a person of color. And so I think understanding that, and there are days when you may need to reach out to someone and say, I'm not feeling like I have my cape on today, because so I have a group of friends and we talk about, okay, sometimes the cape has to go to the side, but if you have those people around you who can help empower you, knowing that you have a support system, that there are people there, and when in doubt, find someone who's walked that path to help push you along and mentor you, I think would be what I would say.
For history-wise, I think about Marie-Jeanne Latimer. In the revolution, 1804 revolution, she was the woman that fought alongside Toussaint Louverture. As you know, Haiti's history is an important history, and it's important history even to the United States. Being her bravery and the way she was very strategic in the war, so I always think about that bravery.
I think about people like Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman, and really just folks who pushed through and advocated in ways that were beyond themselves. So I really look at them as sources of strength and recognizing you really can do all things, and you really shouldn't put limitations on anything that you may think is possible or an impossible.
Sojourner Truth. And that poem, Ain't I a Woman? If you haven't read it, read it, because it is amazing. But I think I've always looked to women who spoke truth to power, who were pioneers, and did not let the fact that they were a woman stop them from accomplishing things, such as Barbara Jordan, Shirley Chisholm, Condoleezza Rice, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. There, I think so many women. And then bringing it home to personal for me, my grandmother and my mother, and we always talk about just the women in our family, that we come from a lineage of strong women, and so I think that has definitely been something that has propelled me through my life.
Well, my mother, Rosalie Belly, she came here in the 60s and didn't speak English. I look to my mom because she always encouraged me. It doesn't matter what you're doing. She is very strong encouragement. She always tells me I can do anything. And knowing from where her background, coming here and all the struggles that she endured, she always instilled in me that I can do whatever I set my mind to do.
And recognizing you really can do all things, and you really shouldn't put limitations on anything that you may think is possible or an impossible.